kids who are awesome kids.
Thank you for giving me the ability to do so.
Yeah. Pleasure. So he switched it back, right? He keeps playing with this, swap yourself for them, and you are them, and they are you, and then they are the worst of you, and then you are the best of them, and they know what you're up to, and then you're a Bodhisattva anyway, so it's okay. You don't need respect, and you don't need praise, and you don't need anything, because you're one of the codes of the Bodhisattva is just to just do kindness and not expect anything. Yeah? Because as soon as you expect something, you have failed. So Master Shantideva preempts another, I think, he preempts another objection, says, hold on a minute, I've done nice things to other people. I'm not happy. So, do you want to read number 36? It's like, this swapping self for other things, maybe it's not working. It's called the foolishness of thinking you get nothing out of serving others.
If you had, at some point in the past, undertaken this very action, then it's completely impossible that you'd be living like this, in something so opposite to the excellent bliss of Buddhahood.
So basically, Master Shantideva, I like this answer. If you've studied enough, especially the karma and emptiness, what causes goodness in your world? What forces upon your mind bliss? What forces upon your mind hurt? Yeah, previous moments of the same, just growing over time. Karma. So he's saying, you can't tell me that you have been switching yourself for others or cherishing others more than yourself. Because if you had, you'd be happy, you schmuck. Like, I don't buy it. He's like, bullshit. That's really what he's saying in a nice way. He's like, you wouldn't be in a condition where you have any suffering at all if you were taking care of others. End of story, no discussion. You're an idiot if you think you are. Like that. I like because all the others are like philosophical discussions. He's like, no, not that one. Because he's trying to get you to realize that the content of your mind produces your reality. And if you have any unhappiness there, then you're not serving others. Because you're perceiving any others as causing you suffering or getting in the way of your happiness. You just haven't served them. End of story. Next one.
As such, you must become accustomed to thinking of others as you do of yourself when you believe that a couple of drops of semen and blood belonging to someone else could ever be the person you call yourself.
So he reminded us what he covered last week, which is you just think you're this body, right? Because we call this body a separate name and you think it's got its borders. It's not even your body. It's your mum's egg and your dad's sperm, and you decided to call it you. He's like, duh, why did he call that one you? It's just some kind of habit decision you made. You think you are somebody else's sperm and egg, and you decide this body is me. He's like, you're an idiot. He's just reminding us to push on to realize that you are arbitrarily deciding who you are. Go to the next one.
Let me command myself to work for every purpose, acting as if I were the least of servants. He is by his very nature wrong. Refuse to praise him for some small accidental good. See to it that any qualities which he does have aren't detected by anyone else at all.
Basically, he's saying here, and this would be a homework question, that by nature, if we just let things continue by the impulses of what brought us here, mostly our impulses are to cherish ourselves, lousy impulses, and will produce more of the same result. And if that me swapping myself for you and you guys see that I might have a tiny bit of bodhicitta or some kind of goodness, if I swap myself for you and I saw that in me, it's really quite a fluke. It's like a little bit of an accident really in the sea of impulses to take care of me. And like a true Bodhisattva, again, he's returning, you don't need any praise. You only need action and result. Take care of others, you'll have the result. You don't need anybody to tell you, congratulations, Hector, you've done all these good things. And like the sun, like the analogy of the sun in the thing before. Go to the next one. The endless thirst of attachment for your own needs.
The more it is that you take steps to do what you must in order to care for this, the body of yours, the more it is that the body descends to nothing more than a state in which it can't bear pain at all. And the fall is such that, even if you were able to get everything that was desirable on the surface of this planet, it would never quench the desire. Who then is it that could act to give you all you want? When they cannot, then this desire brings on mental afflictions and a lessening of the thought.
Great. The thought being the bodhicitta. Here, he's finished talking about swapping yourself for others. He's finished talking about the causes of our suffering being cherishing self over others. And he's saying, what is the main thing that prevents us from acting correctly? What is the one big thing that you can grab onto and say, point to it and go, that's the thing that's stopping me from doing that? And it's really taking a really big perspective about this weird karma we have to delineate ourselves as a body. He's saying, we think we are this body, and we do a ton of things against others, pushing against others, to take care of this skin and the bones and the phlegm and the stuff in it. This thing that we identify with as me, which is predominantly, unexaminedly, it's my body, right? If I'm going to sleep something tonight to rest, it'll be my body, not Jenna's body. I can't feel her body. Yeah? It's so much of the thing preventing us from acting the correct way is attached to this thing called the body. He's now going to go into a little barrage about addressing our state of mind of what this body is. He starts off by saying, give it everything it wants, and it's just going to want more. You know, like Stephen and I moved into a beautiful loft in Bushwick. It's beautiful. It's freezing. Yeah, my and winter came, and the body started making demands upon what I should do to keep it warm. Yeah, and how I should find money and what I should, like, the body starts directing what my actions, beginning with thoughts and then what I say and what I do to try and keep this thing warm. It's only a tiny, I mean, it wasn't freezing. What's the place in Russia that you looked up which was a horrible place?
Siberia.
No, where's it, the northernmost town in the world is called
Norilsk or something?
Norilsk or something, and it's the most polluted part. Nickel mine or yeah. It was like disgusting. Like
Winter always.
It's like frozen humans.
Frozen
yeah?
tundra.
Yeah. And we're like complaining about a nice view of Manhattan with windows and it's a little cold, right? But if I keep keeping that body warm, every winter I'm going to have to do more things to keep it warm. It solidifies. This thing is never ending. The demands of what I think this thing is never ending. Yeah? So I'll give you the run to the chase. Is that the word? Yeah, chase to the run.
Yeah, we're going to quit you on that.
Yeah, I'll give you the run to the chase. My name is Hector. I now speak Spanish. We will do today. I'll cut to the chase and run there. He'll basically say, do what you need to take care of this vessel which will get you enlightened. Yeah? But don't serve its demands, because its demands are deluded. Yeah? And then he'll give you some more arguments which are pretty sexy. So he's saying, he's finished talking about switching yourself for others or prioritizing others. or stopping cherishing don't cherish yourself. Yeah, what's preventing us? It's mostly the body. And it's also our misperception of the body is the thing that causes the suffering or our happiness. Thinking that if I do certain things to try and get more warmth to my body by trying not to pay the rent so the landlord puts another heater, and all these stupid thoughts that go through your head, right? No, seriously, try and push the buttons. And if I try and cheat other people or push other people, then I'm going to get what I really want, which is a warmer body, you know? And misunderstanding that's where the comfort's going to come from is what causes us to do the misdeeds of mind, the negativities in our mind that then project into an unhappiness in the first place, a cold body. It will never stop wanting, want. So let's do the next two verses, 40 and 41, and then we're there almost. Read the headings too, satisfaction.
The ultimate pleasure. The excellent things that come to those who depend on nothing at all are absolutely endless. On the other hand is the desire for the body, which grows forever, leaving you no other chance. He who is finished grasping to the actions has found the finest thing to possess of all. Its final destination is always the same: the dust. On its own, it is immobile, dependent upon another for its motion. This body is a thing of filth, and merciless too. Why then do you hold it to be yourself? Whether it lives or dies, it doesn't matter to me. What's the use of this machinery, the body? What's the difference between it and a lump of rock? Why is it that I cannot stop my pride for it?
Read the next one too.
In your worship of this body, you piled up many sufferings, all of it meaningless. What's the use of this thing? No better than a piece of wood. Why the love and hate? Regardless of whether I continue to care for the body or whether the vultures come to feed upon it, it has no feelings of attachment or anger. Why then is it that I have this attachment myself?
So the first reading there, he said, the satisfaction, the ultimate pleasure. Just give up all wants, and then everything will be bliss. But start feeding the body and start serving its needs. The thing you perceive as wanting its needs, right? You think it's the body. The misperception that this vessel is the thing that requires, that will get you happy. You keep feeding that has no end. And then he says, it's just dead meat. It's just another corpse. Remove the mind from it and it's just atoms put together. And it doesn't want all the things you'd think it wants. It doesn't care whether it sits in the vice president's chair or in the coffin. It doesn't care. It doesn't have a need. Your misconception of it has the need. Your misunderstanding that this is who you are produces the whole samsaric cycle. Misunderstanding that if I sit it in the president's chair over somebody else's corpse, other one's dead meat, is going to make me infinitely happy. Seriously, like our minds think this, right? Is what produces the negativity in my mind, the wish to hurt another, so I could do these things. These things dead. It's pus and blood, and it's from its own side, as a thing. It's just meat. Meat doesn't care if it sits here or if it's there. acting in that way is dysfunctional. It produces the unhappiness. This thing doesn't care if it's got 12,000 likes on Facebook. You know? Or that it doesn't. It doesn't care. All the things we do, all the small. See, and he's talking about all the small instances, moment by moment by moment. They are worse. None of us are murderers. None of us are or maybe some theft. You know, like none of us are doing such huge wrongs, but we're doing such low-level radiation, minute by minute by minute by minute, wishing, that judging between other people, and this undercurrent, this undermining of our happiness is what's producing the erosion of what could be joy, what could be freedom. And we have it all locked in to this thing, which is just destined for the earth, really. And you don't have to get depressed about it or anything like that. It's just what it is. And the reality is that the conception behind it, if you understand what is it that conceives of this as me, that thing is mind. And we're prepared to jeopardize our mind for the sake of flesh, like dead meat. I mean, all the things we do, fame. I mean, I heard someone downstairs, I was walking up, and it was just two very sort of, not elderly, but in their 50s, 60s, talking to each other, going, no, really, is that what she's doing? Yeah, that's what she's doing. Oh my God, I think she's going to be famous. I think so too. And they were like, she's going to be famous, as if all of a sudden everything will be fixed for her. And I'm like, oh damn, she's probably not going to be famous. And she's
So nasty.
I know, I'm sorry. But if she is, and if she held everything onto that, you know, she will be famous for a short time, and then. Okay, 43. He closes us off this chapter. This is the last verse of the chapter, and then I think I've got the last verse of the commentary, and then we can call it a day. And then next week we'll talk in depth about what it all means. So he's bringing it all home, right? You've thought about cherishing self, treating each other the same, prioritizing others over you, overcoming all objections, recognizing that everything comes from taking care of others. You're not your meat. And now he's saying, number 43.
The goals of quietude.
Yeah.
And so, in order to clear away the obstacles, I must collect my mind to avoid the path that errs. Always then, I must place my thoughts in balanced meditation upon an object that's correct.
Great. So that's the end of the chapter for those goodly trained Buddhists. Read the first line.
And so, in order to clear away the obstacles,
Give me the two obstacles one needs to clear away. Good Buddhists in training, those who have studied with me for a while. What are the two obstacles you're clearing away?
Thinking that things are self-existent.
Agitation and dullness.
No.
self-grasping,
Two obstacles to Buddhahood.
doubt,
Ignorance. Liking, disliking.
No. Obstacles of mental affliction.
Ignorant,
Obstacles.
liking,
Aversion
And-
and attachment.
Mental affliction obstacles gets you to nirvana, and obstacles of knowing the truth of all things gets you omniscience. The two obstacles. Yeah? Mental affliction obstacles and obstacles to wisdom, to knowledge. They're the two obstacles. Okay? It's somewhere in the. It's just this line is packed with all these things that we should, if you've been listening to them, is that there's two things preventing us from being a Buddha. And one is we have suffering in our mind. The mental afflictions, the things that afflict our mind, these obstacles prevent us from reaching peace, nirvana, right? And then the obstacles to omniscience, meaning to knowing all things, yeah, is the second obstacle that prevents us from complete Buddhahood. So you should know that. The next one is, I must.
I must collect my mind to avoid the path that errs.
What's the path that errs?
Incorrect view.
Correct. Thinking things are self-existent. The path that errs is doing the stupid things to get the vice president's job, thinking that's what's going to get it, misapprehending my world. Next line.
Always then I must place my thoughts in balanced meditation.
Stop. Balanced meditation.
Show myself.
Excellent. Yeah? So, the end of the chapter, he's talking about taking care of others, recognizing that you're not what you think you are, right? Recognizing that if you could just catch how your mind is functioning second by second, you could flip an upside down world and turn it right way up. Focused, balanced meditation, having your mind completely focused, completely training in meditation is the only thing that will keep you from the habit of acting like an idiot, which is what we do. Yeah, I get what I want by clubbing somebody over the head. I got it. You know, in essence, that's what we do. Or, I really want to have a nice car. I can't get a nice car. Damn it, that person's got a nice car. I hate that person. That person just got what you wanted. It was going to make you happy. Why can't you be happy for them? Yeah? So, misunderstanding your world is a habit so strong, a force so strong in our world that you need this single-pointed concentration. You need to be completely focused. And that takes training. And that's up to you. It's not, no one's going to give it to you. You have to do it. Yeah? So he's ending the whole thing. The only way you're going to do all this is with meditation. And then he says,
upon an object that's correct.
and what's an object that is correct? What's an object that's not incorrect? Yeah?
Correct view. Correct view.
Correct view. The correct way things function. The most within your capacity, the understanding of emptiness. Yeah? Meaning things are not what they appear. There is something behind it, the code behind the matrix, which when you keep looking means there's no code like that. Nothing is like that from its own side. Everything is a result of the way you've habituated to see it, which means it has no nature. It's empty of that nature from its own side. But it does have a nature, the one you give it. Do you choose to give it? No, it's forced upon you by what you do. So, if what you do is take care of everybody, love everybody, think of everybody first, what's the result? Everything is blissful, everything is positive, everything takes care of you.
Was that last sentence though in reference to what we should have our minds on for some?
As you are doing this activity. Yeah. And then, basically he says you should do the training of the 8-step training, which is the 8 antidotes to the 5 obstacles to meditation. Not having laziness, wanting to meditate, understanding the benefits of meditating, thinking, having some kind of faith that meditation will get you that thing, having awareness, having recollection, which remove dullness and agitation, stopping when there's trouble, but correcting, and not correcting when there's no trouble. Yeah, 8, I think that was 8. And then the final verse, I guess I'll read it from the commentary. We must learn to use the special vision which sees directly the nature of reality in order to destroy the 2 types of obstacles, ripping them out from the root. All this though depends on achieving unshakable one-pointed concentration, and as such you must first seek to master the practice of quietude. It just means you are in complete control of what your mind does. You've just become aware of it in a stream of habit resulting into your life right now. The result of your life right now, the result of your habits from before right now, includes a class that tells you you're in control of your mind. Right? It includes the messages you're getting in this class. However you're receiving them, I've got no idea. I know how I received them. It was like someone got a hammer and smashed open thing that was unbreakable before, a locked way of looking at the world, all of a sudden became unlocked, and a crack of light came through, and all of a sudden you can start going for the light of your own enlightenment, of your own mind. Whatever your affliction is, you are completely free to fix your world for the sake of others if you want it to continue. Yeah? If you don't want it to continue, do it selfishly, and then it'll just be another dharma. And you can your result will be one of three things. You know, you can be an excited, investigative, discovery-focused person that has brand new mind all the time, excited to dig into the nature of your reality and dig deeper into these teachings and other teachings and things that show you how you can fix your world. And that takes effort. Yeah? And you'll get some results and you'll climb up the ladder. Or you can become, sometimes me, a middle-aged Dharma student of any philosophy who has some nice insights every now and then, and then settles into fixing that Dharma into this shitty world for the sake of, I've got a comfortable, nice loft in New York. A little cold, but you know, it's nice. So I'm just going to veg a little bit. Push. Get to your limit and push. You're way beyond your conceptions. Or the last one is you're dead. Like that's it. Like at some point between there and then you really are dead, and you press the reset button, and then some poor bastard that had your name and doesn't have your name anymore has all these things in their lives, and they don't know why they have these impulses, and they want to act, or they want to sing, or they want to do this, and they've got this wish to help sometimes, and sometimes they meditate or sometimes not, and they don't know why, but some bastard, Nick or Hector or Stephen, gave it to them from a time before. Time's up. How much edgeway did you influence the mind you've got right now? And can you, in one lifetime, completely change it to where you have a certainty that is unshakable? That's the promise of this. And next week we'll review it all. All of those guys. So thank you for coming. I love this course, and I hope you take it and do some awesome experiment with it. Try something. Let go of this cold. So now we dedicate it by making an offering and then giving it away to others.
Sashe
Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Atayami
Keva
Dirokun Sunam Yashe Satsakshin Sunam Yashe Junwe Dampa Guni Nice. Thank you so much for letting me share these things.
Thank you.
Thank you for teaching. Please keep
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bodhisattva's in training. Yo.